you so much again. So please, a big round of applause again for two speakers and the whole team. And yeah, for sharing insightfully the benefits of the collaboration between our countries, and also the demonstrating the actual example through the live platform that keep giving us all the concrete example and to see how it's going to be in the future. So finally, we're here at the last session of the day. Yeah, and it's been a long day that packed with 7 sessions from the morning. But we all received a pack of knowledge with the last topic that we will talk about an outlook on Thai and ASEAN FinTech landscape. And regarding the last topic, it's really good opportunity for us that our special guests who are representatives from the regional FinTech associations from 3 countries, including Singapore, Philippines, and Thailand, to join us today in this session. So allow me to introduce Mr. Chonapat, who will be the moderator for this session, for taking over the stage. Yes, could Chonapat please take it over? The floor is yours.
Hello. Hello. Okay. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So my name is Chonapat Ruchi Vanarom. I'll be the moderator for this session. So me, as myself, I'm the general manager of the Thai FinTech Association. So for today, just to give a quick background, so we do have an events all around ASEAN right now, which is happening in Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, and also Vietnam, Cambodia as well. So for today, it is a great opportunities that we have representatives from Singapore and Philippines with us, from Singapore FinTech Association and Philippines FinTech Associations, to share with us on what's happening in the FinTech business in this region as well. So first one, I would like to welcome Mr. Cholade Kimaratana, the President of Thai FinTech Association. And next one, I would like to welcome Mr. Ruben Lim, COO of Singapore FinTech Association. And last one, I would like to welcome Ms. Amor Maclang, the President of Philippines FinTech Association. So this one will be quite a relaxing one. So for us, we would like to share on what's happening in this region right now. So we have representatives from all over ASEAN too with us. So we would like to start with Singapore for Mr. Ruben to share with us on what's happening in Singapore, in FinTech area as well. Just give us brief what's happening and what you guys are planning to do next.
Right. Hi everyone. Thank you for having me here in Thailand. Really excited, and looking at the view, I'm amazed. Thanks for having us here. The biggest thing right now for us is actually what's going to happen next week. So next week in Singapore, it's going to be Singapore FinTech Festival, and it's going to be first time in 2 years, 3 years, we're going to bring it back in person again. So for those who are not been there before, I encourage you to be there and hope to see you there. In terms of FinTech movements, there are some of the things that's been going on right now. The latest, freshest one will be one of the paper that just a consultation paper that came out from the central bank, our monetary authority of Singapore. So that really just came out recently, only about 3 days ago, and it's supposed to cover how we create more guardrails to protect consumers when it comes to cryptocurrency trading. So I think going forward in Singapore for the next coming year, there will be a lot of attention around assets, around crypto, around asset tokenization. So blockchain, DeFi, this will be the space that we closely watch. And I think what will be exciting is that how Singapore then really pay attention into the use cases and the application on blockchain, and not just only the blockchain as a technology, but the other elements of it, the likes of a smart contract, and coming up with solutions that would then really create more application that enterprise can use on top of just the cryptocurrency itself when it comes to speculation. So I think that will be a driving force that you will see in coming years for Singapore.
Okay, so I think like the next one, the big going to be Singapore FinTech Festival, right? That you're referring to. So I think this one, everyone is joining, right? Thailand, Philippines, and everyone is coming.
We hope so. We hope so. I think the exciting part is that we have already crossed in terms of registrations. We have more than half the world that will be coming, because in terms of the countries, we have more than 100 countries. People from more than 100 countries have registered. So in the world of 195 countries, that's more than half of the world. So really excited about that.
Okay, so next one would be Ms. Amor. Can you share more about like what's happening in Philippines right now?
Absolutely. Sawadee ka for starters. Last week, we concluded the inaugural Philippine FinTech Festival, which is convened by Digital Pilipinas, the largest private sector movement for taking up the Philippine digital economy. Yes, I just need to correct you. I'm not the president I'm the executive director and trustee of FinTech Philippines Association. And in terms of what's happening, a few things. So what are our priority areas? Blockchain and Web3 and the decentralized world is really where the Philippines is shining and providing the world with excellent use cases, from case studies like that of YGG, Play to Earn, X to Earn. That's a very important component. In a manner that's safe and secure. So we're talking about crypto beyond prospecting and also investing, but rather actual use cases. And like I always say, there's no winter in Southeast Asia. The second thing, right? That's why we're so proud to be ASEAN together and ASEAN. The second priority area on the space of blockchain and digital assets, another important aspect is also identity. So last week we signed a partnership agreement with Affinity, a Singapore-based company, which is the SSI wallet of the largest fund in the world, Temasek. This really shows you the kind of cross-border cooperation that we have amongst us here in ASEAN. And for us, it's because identity, our digital ID is still in its implementation stage. And we strongly believe that your identity is tied to your dignity and should be monetized by you and you alone. And SME digitalization is a very important component for us. In a Digital Pilipinas, largely last August 12, we are 1 in 4 signatories supporting the work of the MAS in SME digitalization, along with Singapore, India, and Ghana. I was actually in Ghana to launch this program. We're training SMEs, and their educational credits actually accrue to a credit score. But I think the biggest thing for me that I'd like to share to all of those who are watching is a tight cooperation that's being undertaken by the FinTech leaders. I think from the time that the FinTech Festival has started, this is the first time when all the FinTech leaders are working closely together, and these two men to my left, to my right, my other left rather, are some of the most formidable leaders. And like we say, where one goes, we all go. I think this is the 4th time I've seen Ruben in under 3 months. It'll be 5th next week. Yes, because we will all go. And I'm extremely happy to meet my brother and also a leading light in Thai FinTech, Chan Ladet. And this will just be the beginning of many, many more cooperations together. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure like both Ruben and Kunchodes will be looking forward to that as well, right?
Yes, for almost a year, it's my first time to meet Amor and Ruben in person. Yeah. to the weekly meeting. So if you ask me the fintech trend in Thailand, I think there are three big trends. The first one, we are number 3 in the world, top 3 in terms of mobile payment penetration, just after, I think, Hong Kong and Taiwan. And I think that's the benefit of having a very clear policy from the Bank of Thailand and cooperation from the commercial banks. So we have the PromptPay, and PromptPay can connect to PayNow in Singapore, and we are connecting to more and more countries in terms of QR payment. And we are number 1 in terms of online purchase penetration, which means that perhaps typical Thai man or girl, we would love to do online shopping. Number 1 in the world in terms of penetration rate. So I think it's, again, thanks to such a good infrastructure. And earlier this year, the Bank of Thailand has issued 3 O's as a policy. The first one is to open competition, meaning that the commercial bank can do new innovative businesses, perhaps related to blockchain and digital asset. At the same time, it would be opening up for non-bank to play the same field, to level the playing field. So that's the open competition. And I think sooner, right? We have many BOT friends here. Sooner, perhaps this year, earlier next year, we will have the virtual banking policy, like MAS just did with the 2 retail no brick and mortar banking license. And it's going to be the first time in our history that we can have the new banks. Okay, that's obviously open for more competition. The second O is to open infrastructure, meaning that we will have CBDC. So finally, we will have the retail CBDC pilot case later this year. And earlier, we have done successfully for wholesale CBDC pilot testing alongside China, Hong Kong, and UAE. So it would be the programmability of CBDC that could boost the usage. So please keep our eyes on that one, CBDC. And the third O is to open data, meaning that we will have the commercial banks to open for API by consent of the end user. So it would, again, opening up the innovative. So that's the first one for payment and backbone of our system. The second one of the big trend here in Thailand is about wealth tech. So, I think before COVID, we had only 1 million of unique investors purchasing stocks. And after the COVID, now we have double of that figure. So it's like 2.3, 2.4. So that for the stocks investor. For mutual fund investors, is around 2 million as well. And we have had a very good capital markets in terms of the trading value or velocity. We are number 1 in ASEAN. In terms of market cap, I think perhaps we are number 2, number 3 after Singapore and Indonesia. In terms of the capital raising or IPO, I think we are number 2, just behind Indonesia in terms of the number of IPOs. But in terms of the capital raised or amount, I think we are on par. So we have such a very efficient capital market, and we have many innovations involving capital market. For example, we have algorithmic trading, and our stock exchange, it's opening up the open API for anyone to connect directly, and it has the SDK for the developer to use Python to connect directly with the Stock Exchange of Thailand to trade both of the spot and derivative market. And we have like robo-advisors locally, regionally, many players. And for example, Stashaway from Singapore, they are actively operating here in Thailand. So that's the second one. Okay. Last but not least, about a trend here in Thailand, it's about a digital asset. So we have 2 million of unique investors in stock market, right? The number of crypto investors is even higher. I think same, right? I think 3 or 4 million of registered account. Yeah, that's only the traders within the supervised exchanges here in Thailand. excluding the Binance, Coinbase, or any other countries. And I think, if I understand correctly, in terms of penetration rate, we have such a very high number of crypto wallets divided by the internet user. I think it's about 20%. It's very high. Very high. In Thailand and in Vietnam and in this part of the world, in ASEAN, we are very advanced in terms of the digital asset. And in Thailand, if you talk about digital asset, it's not only cryptocurrency. We have the tokenization of the investment product. So we are perhaps a very first countries to issue the digital asset law under the decree, digital asset decree, many years ago. And we have had the initial coin offering through the ICO portal. And there have been 2 deals. Okay, I can tell you guys later on why we have only 2 deals. The first one is more like a REIT, a property fund from Sansili Public Company Limited, to sell the headquarters, pocketing I think 2.4 billion baht, and it was divided into 2 tranches. The low risk one to get the capital back easily, and the high risk one to take risk of perhaps being able to get fraction of the payment or even higher depending on the selling value. And then we have another ICO from the movie maker, Destiny Token, to successfully raise I think 250 or 60 million baht. So this, it's more like a corporate bond, a non-rated one, and they offer the basic yield of 2.99% per annum. And if the revenue of the box office domestically reaches 1 billion baht, this return would be increased from 2.99 to 5%. Okay, so it's very innovative, and it offers the embedded utility token to enjoy the free tickets, free movie tickets, or to have the access to the private dinner with Kun Pop and Kun Bella, and to have the souvenirs and all that. So we can see that in Thailand, we have such a very good trend in fintech. And if we can clear the taxation, the tax issue, to have this new digital asset, investment token, to be leveled in terms of the playing field with the traditional financial instruments in the capital market, it would be very nice. Because if you invest in the listed product, you can enjoy the wave of capital gain. So in Thailand, 0 capital gain tax in the stock exchange, and you pay only 10% of withholding tax to the dividend, and that's it. But if you invest in digital asset, either REIT alike or bond alike, you need to pay 15% of the withholding tax, and it's not a final tax yet, meaning that you need to do the tax filing at the end of the year. And if you are the high income earner, you have to end up paying like 35%. So it's huge. So that's the trend and the challenge that we are facing.
Okay, so as you can see, like from Singapore, we're just traditionally a financial hub. Before, you're seeing what Philippines are doing, going into SMEs and also expanding to another country, and also on Thailand trends on digital assets. So what's happening right now is like we are coming together. So it's called One ASEAN FinTech Movement. So I would like to hear from like each of you guys, like how did this came to be, and also like how would this benefit ASEAN as a region to be like a financial fintech hub? Maybe who wants to start? Then it can be either 3 of you. Gonna be you, Ruben.
Right. So, interestingly, I think within the ASEAN itself, most of the countries actually have a fintech association or equivalent fintech association, and I think the ecosystem is small in a way that everyone knows one another. But frankly, we have never really come together. It has always been an ad hoc, probably a WhatsApp group. It was just maybe we text one another, email one another. And I think we take some reference from in the Nordics. Some of the associations there in fintech space, actually they work a lot closer. And we see the merits. And what happened is that, and if I were to take a reference to other parts of the world and they look at ASEAN, you will realize that they don't really recognize or know individual countries very well, but they tend to know Southeast Asia or ASEAN, or if not, they'll call Southeast Asia. So in that respect, when they want to enter this region, it will always be Southeast Asia. But yet, Southeast Asia is very much complicated, as you all know. So we have 10 countries with very different faith, different languages, different cultural aspect as well. So I think instead of top down, I think among the Southeast Asian, among us, the different fintech associations, we see that it makes a lot of sense for us to have this. We already know one another. So we want to take this chance to really do something a bit more formal, a bit more recognized, so that we want to share with everyone else from our audience, our members of Thai FinTech Associations or Digital Filipinas in Philippines, to share with everyone that there is this network that you can all tap on. That when you are a member of Digital Filipinas, Singapore FinTech Association, Thai FinTech Association, you actually then have access to a wider network within Southeast Asia. And I think that itself is the merit of it. And we don't just want to sign an MOU or just get together for the sake of doing so. Because by us building this relationship, it allows us to share a lot more new updates. For example, I'll give an example. This panel itself, if not for this movement, we will not be having an opportunity for us to hear updates from Singapore, updates from Philippines. And yet you get all this in 30 minutes. And that itself is proved to be very precious. Because for someone who wants to enter this region, you will not just rest in one country, but you'll move on to the others as well along the way. Secondly, in fintech space, we are seeing a lot more partnerships. So in many other jobs that I was in the past, a different industry, partnership, the word didn't come out so strongly. But right now in fintech, you hear that everyone wants to look at partnership. And what is best to partner when you're going overseas? And that is what this movement is about, where you can find partner a lot easier. So let me stop there and let others share as more as well. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that there is this need, you see, because if we don't do it, if you don't do from ground up, then things wouldn't really move as well. So you can always be top down or bottom up. And I think I'm thankful for my fellow partners here that we decided to do it from bottom up together.
So I remember summer of 2022 in Zurich. That was the first ever major in-person conference on digital economies, spearheaded by the Central Bank of Switzerland and the Monetary Authority of Singapore. And even prior to that, all the leaders, at least in the core ASEAN markets, we were saying to each other, we need to not waste this opportunity to put ASEAN on the map, because the largest fintech in the world is not one entity. It's ASEAN, and it's all of us working together. And in that panel, where although some of my leaders weren't there, we ran the video, we launched it, because like I said, where one goes, we all go. I had the pleasure of saying to the largest fintech in the world and financial, we love them. Shout out to Derek, who's somewhere here, and to Carrie somewhere in Singapore. And we said, Ant is not the largest fintech in the world, it's ASEAN. And even they had to agree. And so our objective for starters, and I think this is an example of what we hope to do, is to line up all our fintech celebrations, our digital economy celebration, in a span of 30 to 40 days. So we started in the Philippines, now we're moving to Thailand, then we moved to Singapore for what is the biggest digital economies festival in the world. I always call it the spiritual mother of the Philippine FinTech Festival. Then we moved to Indonesia to sign the ASEAN FinTech Month, and then we support our brothers and sisters in Cambodia. So the statement that we all want to make to the rest of the world is, every autumn, every year, you have to train your sites in ASEAN. And it's not just one, but all markets of ASEAN working closely together, because that's the only way we could actually help lift everyone. And not all markets are the same. You have the powerhouses like Thailand and Singapore and Indonesia, but we also need to extend support to those who are not yet in the table. I had the pleasure meeting in Singapore the nascent Brunei FinTech Association. They're wanting to work together, and they're really looking to the bigger market. So we're here to support each other, educate, but more importantly, lead business delegations, right? So this is the first time that I think We've had formal representation in the BOT, and hopefully next year we can send a bigger one. I had a quick chat with Supnendu Mohanty, and I said, Chief, this year we're going to have the biggest delegation, right? I mean, maybe not, compared to Singapore, Singapore is still number one, but one of the biggest delegations. And we hope to do the same for Indonesia and also for Cambodia, with an end goal of all of us working closely together in a cross-border manner.
So I think the statement is that to tell the world is we're coming as ASEAN. Yeah, that would be like the biggest statement that we can make right now. Kun Chaladet, do you have any?
Yeah.
opinion?
So I think we have done this kind of brainstorming since last year. And initially, our initiative is to form the Association of FinTech in ASEAN, ASEAN FinTech Association. But to reach that stage, we need to have the first step first. First step is like the One ASEAN FinTech Movement or ASEAN FinTech Alliance, or whatever the name is. We are here together. And from the perspective of Thai FinTech industry, we can gain a lot. For example, we can learn from thank you. For example, we can learn from Ruben, the Singapore FinTech Association success. And we have interns from Singapore, from many universities to work here in Thailand FinTech industry or in Thai FinTech Association. And then we can have many Singaporean friends coming in and to enjoy Bangkok perhaps as a second hub or second or sub or regional hub. Because if you would like to penetrate the COMV market, logistically Bangkok is good. And if we would like to go to Philippines or Indonesia or Malaysia, we need to have a local partners. That's no way that a typical Thai businessman could penetrate that kind of market because of a different culture, different language. And most importantly, I think associations in each country would be an optimal entity to enter into the regulators. So it's nice, right? If for a typical Thai fintech firms connecting with the MAS through the SFA and vice versa. If you would like to talk to BOT or SEC here in Thailand, the FinTech Association here can assist on that. And we can have our members, our FinTech firms, both startups and incumbents, to learn how to penetrate each market. So now many Singaporean firms are coming to Thailand. And I have heard that a good number of Thai fintech firms would like to be there in Singapore, to use Singapore as a springboard to other parts of the world. I think that's a lot of benefit, the win-win-win situation.
So I think that covers like almost everything that we are trying to do right now. So in terms of expanding partnership, coming together as a region, and many things like that. So next one will be just a Q&A if any of you guys want to ask some questions on what we're doing right now or any questions on fintech landscape on each of the regions. I guess that's no questions.
I think they want to get to their happy hours.
Okay, so actually there's one more thing. So for Mr. Moore being here as well. So we just want to let you guys know that Thai FinTech Association is signing an MOU with the Philippines FinTech Association, Digital Filipinas. Oh yeah, I'm trying to be in English, sorry. Okay, so we would like to share that with you guys, that what we are doing right now.
So it's the first day we're meeting and we're getting married. That's that, right?
Yeah.
It's an arranged marriage.
Yeah. Sorry, it's that double marriage. I have signed with
Of
SFA
course.
before.
Absolutely. Well, it's about open finance. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah,
Open finance marriage.
So I would like to invite Kun Nao, the Director of FinTech Department from Thailand, to be taking pictures with us with the MOU as well on the stage.
Is that Leica? Leica's former position, former.
ได้ครับผมขอบคุณนะครับสองท่านยืนตรงกลางได้ไหมครับ
Yes.
ได้ถือ
Sorry,
แต่ฟัง
my
ไม่ใช่
voice is failing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all speakers and for sharing insightful outlook on ASEAN fintech landscape. Quite a fantastic moment and very enjoyable discussion. And so I think we have finished all 7 sessions today. And according to the Digital Finance 2022, it will be continuing until this Saturday. And please know that you are all welcome to join us in the next 2 days. And tomorrow we will continuously contribute other tech topics together with showcasing the product of the winner of the CBDC and policy hackathon projects. And before we close the stage, I think we would love to take a feedback from you guys and our audience that by scanning there's a QR code easily on screen, and because of your feedback is valuable for us, and we will take it seriously and to continuously improve our work and the next 2 days of the conference. And lastly, on behalf of Bangkok Thailand, we would like to thank you guys for your valuable time being with us today, and it's been a great pleasure for us to host this event, and we wish you all a pleasant day. See you tomorrow. ขอบคุณครับ